Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? It is 1:31 a.m. on this beautiful Friday evening in Indianapolis. It is 63 degrees outside, and I have some coffee from the percolator. Percolator. It's time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator. So yeah, it's time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator. I made coffee in the percolator tonight, and I just had a cup of coffee sitting on the front porch talking to Tanya Jean. Have you ever just had one of those days that is just such a great day, but like nothing truly exciting happens, you know? It's just a really, really good day. I just had a really great day. You know, I talked about this on here for a while, and then I got a couple comments, and people are like, okay, we get it. You're content today, you know? But I think, like, the quality of having a day where you're just, like, peaceful, somewhat happy, and content is way underrated. Like, we don't talk about that enough, right? Like, we either have days that are, like, extremely exciting, we have this to do and that to do, or we have days that are just like, we're not feeling it and we've just had a really bad day. But we don't really ever talk much just about those kind of like really great, like in-between days, you know, that you're just content all day long. And I had one of those days today, so I just want to bring some attention to that so I remember that. When I got done vlogging last night, I went to Dunkin' Donuts, and I was actually going to do a review to have up today, but I wanted to do the Starbucks drink today, and I thought, no, just go through and just, like, you know, get a donut, get some hash brown, I wanted some hash browns, and then just sit there and, like, just kind of enjoy it, you know? And I was listening to my audiobook, and so I went through and I got a cinnamon spice donut. The girl that worked in the window was so nice. She was so sweet. I just, like, I had such clarity. I don't know what it was. It was just, like, such a clear, like, kind of late night, early morning. And, there was a couple people sitting in the parking lot eating, like, their breakfast probably before they went to work or whatever, you know? And so I got a apple spice donut, and then I got a hash brown. Their hash browns are only, like, one size there, but they're pretty small. Their hash browns are not my favorite. They're good, but they're not my favorite. They have, like, little hash rounds. I really like Hardee's are the best, which is like Carl's Jr., but then, like, Burger King's are close second to that. I mean, McDonald's are okay, but I like the hash rounds better. And then I got, like, a glass of ice water, like an ice water. And I just sat there, and it just was so relaxing. And, like, while I was sitting there, I was like, I can't wait to, like, go home and just, like, get into bed and be cozy with the dogs and sleep in tomorrow, you know? So I came home and I rendered my vlog so that I could, like, upload it. And I went and I laid down for, like, I don't even know how long, like an hour or something? More than an hour. Because I had to move my car for Alex to leave. And I got up a little bit before. No. I rendered the video, and then I went upstairs while it was rendering, and I laid down, and then I got up to move my car or whatever. I don't even remember now. But anyway, because by that point I was like half asleep. But after I moved my car, I feel like I sat on the computer and I did something for a little bit. And then I laid down for just a couple minutes. I don't feel like I don't know. I don't remember, honestly. It feels like it was so long ago. But Alex, yeah, because I was downstairs when he came down. He came downstairs and he left. And, or was that the other day? Did I go back to bed this one? I don't really even remember. Isn't that so crazy? I feel like I was downstairs when he left to go to work. And so, like, I came back inside, and I had this, Ben & Jerry's ice cream that I had bought called Caramel Core or something. and I never had it before. And I was like, I just want to taste a little bit of that ice cream. So I sat on the chair, and the dogs were like on the stairs, like they were ready to go back to bed. And I sat on the chair and I ate some of it. It was so good. It had like the whole center of the ice cream had like this caramel core to it, and it was just so good. And if you ever just like turn on something, I mean, it was just like every moment of my day was like just so nice, but just like nothing exciting, you know? It was just like the small things. And I turned on the TV and it was on like HBO or something, and they were playing some movie. The movie was like letters and numbers, like a submarine number, you know, like submarine ship number. And it was with Matthew McConaughey and why can't I think of the other guy's name? But they were on like, you know, the submarine, and it was like, I don't know what war it was, but they were like trying, like the boat was like coming apart, and they were trying to, if anybody knows what this movie is, put it in the comment section below, because I would really like to watch this movie. I obviously could look it up, right? But they were trying to like avoid like pilots flying over the ocean trying to like sink their ship or something. And they were kept on going down and going down and going down. So I sat there for like 10 minutes and I watched this movie. I got so into it just like in the 10 minutes that I watched it. And then I said, okay, you guys, let's go upstairs. I put the ice cream away, and I was like, I didn't eat a whole lot of it. And I was like, come on, let's go back to bed. And I turned the fan on super high. And we got into bed, and it was, oh my God, it was so nice. And I was so comfy. And then I slept in. I slept till like 1-ish. And it was after 1 when I got up. But, and then like, oh, I started uploading the vlog that morning. So it had uploaded all night long while I was, or like, not all night long, but when I was asleep. And so when I got up, the vlog was done, and so I was like, did I do some stuff to that? I usually get up and like put the vlog together right then, but I didn't. I took the dogs out on the patio, and I kind of like watched them so that Boo Radley wouldn't like run towards the street like he's been doing. And I went out and I started in the yard, and then like I sat on the patio, and I just kind of like looked through my phone to see what was like going on and all this kind of stuff. And that guy was like hanging out the window like this, like smoking a cigarette, like he's like riding that curb. I have a feeling he might have been drinking quite a bit. So anyway, and then I came inside and I like screwed around doing a bunch of stuff, and then I got all my stuff together because I wanted to go to the pool. And I just wanted to leave straight from Starbucks. So I want to go to Starbucks and do this review and get my coffee, and then I wanted to go straight from there to the pool. Because the last time I like forgot, well, I think that was yesterday, I forgot my stuff, and then I came home and I ended up making two videos, and I never ended up getting to, well, I got to the pool, but I didn't get there till like late. I think I went to the pool at like 8 o'clock yesterday or something. And I'm trying to use the pool as much as I possibly can between now and when it like is closed, because I mean, we only have like a week or two, you know, until the pool closes. So I went to Starbucks and I did the review, and I did the Star drink. I really like the Kiwi Star Fruit Refresher better than the Star drink. The Star drink is basically the same thing, just with coconut milk, which is what everybody told me in the comment sections, and then what I asked while I was there. And then after I did the review, I got like a blonde Americano. Do I have any of it left? No, I drank, oh, I do have a little bit of it left. Here it is. I went to the pool, my cup. I love this cup so much. I never thought like when I got this cup that this would be like one of my favorites. This has been like one of my favorites in the summer. It's like so iridescent and pretty and stuff, isn't it? It's really pretty at the pool. Not that it matters, but I do like having a pretty cup at the pool. So anyway, I went to the pool and it was completely empty except for one woman, and I sat and talked to her. She was very nice. She just moved in like a month ago, so I was like, well, welcome to the neighborhood, and I was telling her all the stuff about the neighborhood, and I was asking her where she lived before, and she was asking me how long I had lived there, and she's like, you've been here 12 years? I was like, yep. And so we just talked about all kinds of stuff and like what kind of books we like to read and what TV shows we like to watch and all that kind of she was telling me what she used to do. And so anyway, and then she left, and then I was by the pool. I was in the pool for a while by myself, and then my neighbors she wasn't there for very long. She was probably only there for like less than a half an hour. She was in the pool for like 20 minutes, and then she got out, and then she was, like, she sat out and read for like 10 or 15 minutes, and then she left. And I just stayed in the pool the whole time. I got some sun today, can you tell? I just sat in the pool the whole time, and I drank my star drink and which was kind of actually I didn't love it, but it was like kind of a fun pool drink to have because it has like kiwi fruit infusions in it and stuff. It was a fun drink to drink by the pool, you know? And then, my neighbor across the street, she's a teacher, and her best friend is a teacher, and so they came over after school, and they came to the pool, and she's hilarious, and so is her friend. And so, we have such great neighbors right now. Both of our neighbors on either side of us we love, and then we love them across the street. She and her husband, they're fantastic, and so it's kind of like the four of us, like all of us get along really, really well, which is nice, you know? And so I sat in the pool and I talked to them, God, for like over an hour. And then they were leaving, and so I was like, well, I'm gonna leave too, and I'm gonna go and make a video. And I filmed a drama video, and I started filming, Alex had asked me last night if I would like to get food on the patio and stuff with Sarah, and then watch like a movie on the projector, and I was like, yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. And so today he texted me and he said that he was gonna make salads, and Sarah was gonna make her pasta. She has this pasta salad that she makes, homemade pasta salad. And so I was like, okay. So I didn't know, like I thought, he said we can watch the movie while we're eating. Well, I mean, it doesn't get dark in Indianapolis till like 8 or 9. So I didn't think we were gonna eat dinner till like 8 or 9. So I'm sitting there filming my Peterisms video. I mean, I was like almost at the end of it. And the dogs start going crazy, and I was like, is Alex home? Like, what's going on? So I stopped the camera, and I went and looked, and Sarah was there. So she was like, well, Alex told me to be here at 6:30. And I was like, oh, I should have texted you. I was like, I didn't even know. So she came in, and then I tried to film the end of it, but it was just like crap because I kind of had forgotten where I was. And she was like, don't even mind me, I'll just sit over here. And so and I was like, Sarah, honestly, it'll just take like a minute. And she was like, oh my God, I don't care at all. And so I tried to film the end of it, and it just was stupid. So I was like, I just won't post it today. I'll just film another video tomorrow. And so I didn't post the Peterisms video. And then, she came out on the patio, and I put the cushions out, and then I like Windexed the table out there, and she sat out there while I was like cleaning up the kitchen and getting stuff ready. And then Alex came, like, he was home, like, well, he had been texting me saying that he was gonna stop and get a bunch of stuff at Costco and Kroger, and so he was on his way home because I asked for him to get some croutons. And then I was like, will avocado be making a presence at this salad? Because I love avocado in my salad. So he made these fantastic salads. Sarah's pasta salad was incredible. Alex bought like hummus and pita, and he warmed up these little pita like things. Not like pita chips, but like, you know, actual pita, but it was like a little small. Well, they were kind of like oblong. It was weird. They were really good. And then, yeah, we had a really good time. She likes these drinks called Bon Vive or something. And then she had a tangerine LaCroix, and I had a tangerine LaCroix. And Alex had some wine. He opened a bottle of wine. We had fun. It was really fun. And we sat out there and ate. It was such a beautiful evening. And then it started getting dark, and we were having like a hard time figuring out what movie we wanted to watch. And they were going through all of these like really bad movies on Netflix, and Sarah wanted to watch like a scary movie. She was like, you want to watch a horror movie? A horror? There's some holes in this house. A horror movie? And we're like, yeah, sure. And they're like picking all these movies that look really bad, because they're like, let's not pay for a movie. We wanted to see this movie with Russell Crowe, but I guess it's called Unhinged, but I guess it's only in movie theater. So And movie theaters aren't open yet. I don't think the movie theaters are open yet, are they? There's a movie theater right down there. I should go look and see if it's open yet. I don't believe that it is. But anyway, I wonder what the movie theater is going to be like now. So I was like, oh, we should watch Hereditary by Ari Aster, because he's like one of the best, you know, horror movie directors right now, and he did Midsummer too, and I loved both of them. And Alex, we started watching the trailer, and like, I mean to tell you, 10 seconds in, Alex is like, yeah, I'm not into this. And I'm like, we only watched like 10 minutes of the trailer. He's like, yeah, I'm not really feeling it. I'm like, okay. So we started watching all of these other movie trailers. I mean, it took us forever to get this thing set up, and then forever to like pick a movie. So finally, he was like, well, let's just watch Hereditary. And Sarah was like, yeah, it looks like it'll be pretty good. And she was wanting to watch Relic, the like new one from 2020. This movie theater does not look like it is open. It looks like it has been closed for quite some time. But if I pull in front of it, there's like 2 cars out there though. So maybe it is. If I pull in front of it and this is a movie theater that we go to, and it has those chairs, you know what I mean? God, it really feels weird. I mean, I have not been to a movie since probably January or December. Let's see what movies are on the movie theater thing here. Vin Diesel, Bloodshot, Tulsa, Sonic the Hedgehog. Is there a sign out here that says anything? Yes, we're open, it says. Again. The New Mutants. The personal history of David Copperfield. That looks interesting. And Tenet. That's supposed to be really good. With John David Washington. Filmed by Christopher Nolan. Yeah, see the movie. It's so weird, isn't it? Like, I haven't heard of any of these. Well, Tenet I've heard of because I was looking at the different movies to see which movies were like new and out, you know what I mean? So anyway, but that's not the movie that I want to see. I want to see Unhinged with Russell Crowe. It supposedly came out July 30th, I think is what it said. I watched Hereditary when it first came out, like to rent or whatever. Because whenever we travel, I always like buy movies on iTunes, or I rent movies on iTunes, or you know, whatever. And is it Steak and Shake closed forever? Things are closing. It's really sad. Like, a lot of things around here are closing. But I went to, I was driving this way because I wanted to read what movies were on the movie sign, see if there's something. Anyway, I didn't do that, so we'll come back this way. But this eye has been itching all night long, and this is like where I get my allergies in this eye, so it was probably from sitting outside. 'Cause it's like, if you live places where there's allergies, like ragweed, you can tell the difference between like having a cold or like, you know, allergies. And I have that like allergy itch in this eye, and it's like driving me crazy, and I have to be careful because I have my contacts in. So anyway, we picked Hereditary, and I was like, oh my god, this movie is so good, you guys are gonna die, it's super scary, blah blah blah, whatever. So we watched it, and Alex was totally not impressed. He was like, well, okay, so I totally forgot how slow it is. I don't know when I watched it, or maybe I was like watching it in a plane and I was kind of like half asleep or something, I don't know. But I can remember when I watched it, I thought it was really, really good. And I still do think that it was well done, and the pacing is good, but it's a slow movie. Like, it's 2 hours and like 12 minutes, And it is super, super, super slow. There's a psychic along here somewhere, and in her window, there's like a sign that says psychic readings. I wanted to come to her forever. Here it is right here, psychic reader. I wanted to come to her forever, but I don't know anything about her. Kind of scares me to go to somebody's house like that, but I actually have gone to somebody's house. I'll tell you that story in a second. So, I think I've told it on here before, but I'll tell it again. I came back this way so I could see the movies on the movie board, and there's like there's not one movie listed. Is there? No, there's no movies listed on it. What is going on? Who'd care? Anyway. So, we watched Hereditary. Alex, like, the whole time was like, I'm falling asleep, and when it finally got good, Sarah was like, Alex, this is good, quit complaining. And I was like, yeah. I was like, you're just complaining because I picked the movie. He's like, no, I'm not complaining about that at all, blah, blah, blah. And, then we were like almost done, and our neighbors came outside and they started talking on the patio. Like, we were like an hour, like, we had like an hour left of the movie, and our neighbors came outside and turned on their back lights and they were like, oh, how fun, you guys are like watching blah, blah, blah. And, I mean, like, obviously, you know what I mean, they have a right to be on their patio too. So they were like on their patio, and they were being quiet, but it's like, you know, it felt like somebody talking in a movie theater, you know what I mean? And at that point, like, Alex was so tired, and I looked over and he was like falling asleep, and I was like, babe, I'm sorry, I thought this movie was a little faster than this. He's like, yeah, you did say it was really good. And Sarah was like, this movie is good. And so anyway, we finished it right at about like 12:15, I think, something like that. 12 or between 12 and 12:30. And Alex has to work in the morning, and then they're going to Chicago tomorrow to see their friends from college. So that'll be fun for them. And I'll have the whole day to myself to just kind of like do whatever I want to do and go to the pool and kind of hang out. I have a couple of my videos planned already for tomorrow to make. So, yeah. And then tomorrow evening, I've been wanting to watch this movie called Summer of 1984, and Alex has absolutely no desire to watch it. So I'm thinking about maybe watching that tomorrow night. Although it's a scary movie, and I'm not really sure I want to watch it by myself. But maybe I'll see if Tanya Jean wants to watch it. That was my day. I just had such a great... Oh, and then, like, we took a break at about the hour mark of the movie, and that's when I made my coffee in my percolator. Sarah was like, I can't believe you're making the coffee in the percolator. I was like, I know, it's so exciting. And because it started, like, going... bloop, bloop, she heard it, and it was like, well, oh, no. So I made it, and... like, the stick, you know, if you've had a percolator, you know what I'm talking about. Like, it wasn't shoved all the way down in. Family friendly. So, like, it didn't make the coffee. And so I had to redo it. And as soon as I plugged it in the second time and did it, it started like, because it was like already hot. And then it started, is it percolating a verb? I don't know. But I was like, but it just was such a great day. It was such a nice day. My mom would have loved a day like this. Like, sometimes when I'm at the condo, you know, like, we do stuff like that, or we have people over, and we, like, you know, put up the movie thing and whatever. Well, this was one of the things. So it took so long for us to watch this movie because we couldn't hear it. And we have, like, 2 of those Echo Dots and the Amazon thing, and we have all of those things. And then I bought this Sony speaker for the bathroom. Well, none of them were working with the computer. We don't know why. Like, in the projector, like, none of them were working. We couldn't figure it out, but it was fun. I was, like, actually sent this projector long time ago. Somebody sent it to me. Now they have these projectors that you can get. I've seen them on Instagram that are really small, and you can like hook your phone up and it'll project onto like your bedroom wall and stuff. I think that would be cool too. Have you guys seen those? I think that would be cool. They also have these things that like look like old-fashioned TVs, and you put your phone in it and then you watch like a show on it. Do you know what I'm talking about? And then you watch it and it looks like you're watching on an old-fashioned TV. I think that's cool too. I have ordered off of Etsy like 5 of these true crime cups. I've ordered 1 coffee mug and then 3 plastic like Starbucks cups that say like true crime and coffee, coffee and true crime, coffee and crime time, and then I don't know what the actual mug says that I ordered. I have not started our August book yet because I haven't finished this Hank Green book. I need to finish it so I can start the August book, and everybody's like telling me that they didn't like the August book at all, that it was horrible. So imagine like not being able to finish this book because you're just really not loving like listening to an audiobook right now, and I'm like, okay, I have to finish this book so that I can start listening to a book that nobody wants to read because it's so bad. It's like, I haven't seen one person say that they like this book. Like, oh my God. Oh my God, the Golden State Killer got sentenced. I got tagged in this, and it was also in the book club. Somebody posted, I think he got 11 life sentences plus 8 years. Is California not a death row state? It must not be a death row state. I don't know if it is or not. Or there may be a reason why they decided not to, the death sentence with him. But I don't think it is a death row state. I feel like, in a weird kind of way, like, my interest in that case, like, I can kind of put it to rest. Like, the documentary on HBO was, like, so... My eye is really bothering me, you guys. I don't know if you can tell, but it's, like, really, really itching. The documentary on HBO was so fantastically done, and, like, it showed... Like, there were so many people, I don't want to ruin it for you if you haven't seen it, but there were so many people from, like, his real life, that, and he was a police officer in California, too. Like, it confirmed that. And there were so many people from his real life at the end, and then you got to hear the stories of so many of, like, the survivors of, when he was the East Area rapist, and then you got to hear, like, families of the victims. It just was like, I feel like, I don't know how to explain it, but often when I'm reading true crime, like, I can tell when I'm done, like, if I'm done, like, if my interest is done with the case. Like, when we read, oh my God, that car is, like, swerving towards me, my lord, over, like, a lane. Oh, he just, like, went over, like, the end of the ramp back, or not the end of the ramp, but the end of the... People are driving crazy out here tonight. What was I gonna say? When we read, The Stranger Beside Me by Anne Rule about Ted Bundy, and I had looked up a lot about the case, and Mel and I talked a lot about it at that time. I was done. Like, when the book was done, I was done. Like, I had no desire to know anything more about the case. I tried to watch the confession tapes or whatever they are on Netflix. I literally had no interest. I didn't watch the movie with Zac Efron. I heard that, like, his ex-girlfriend put out a book, or she's got a show or something on Amazon. I have no desire to watch it. Like, I have no desire in the case of Ted Bundy anymore. Like, I just, I think I'm more interested in finding out, like, about their motives. I say this about, like, my drama videos, too. It's, like, motives and, like, all that kind of stuff is very interesting to me. Usually with the cases that we read, or like true crime cases that I follow and stuff, if they're unsolved and they've never like caught the person, that's the more interesting to me. It's more of like a murder mystery. It was at the end. It's more like a murder mystery. It's more interesting to me than if it's if the case is solved and all that kind of stuff. Like, I'm not like Mel will suggest we read something about somebody. Like, we're gonna read at some point about the Black Dahlia. Well, I don't think the case was ever solved, so like that is interesting to me. The Zodiac Killer was interesting to me because they never caught him or her, but they're pretty sure it was a him. No, the Zodiac Killer had to be a him. You know, there were other, but like the Green River Killer and Ted Bundy, and I mean, I haven't read anything about the Green River Killer, so we're going to do that at some point, and there are a lot of people that have asked for us to do that. But there's a lot of cases, like the BTK Killer, I'm just not interested in reading about, because, like, they've been caught, and it's like, okay, like, and if we do, like, if I don't know any, I have to know nothing about the case for me to be interested in it. Like, if we, like, if I know a lot about the case, and we're reading about it for me to be interested in it, it's hard. Like, honest to God, like, we read Eileen Wuornos in May, and I love reading and discussing about Eileen Wuornos. But I almost couldn't even get through the documentaries this time. I was like, I've watched these documentaries each, like, 5 or 6 times. You know, I've read so much about her. I've seen Monster. I know so much about her. And honestly, like Nisha from the book club, she had recommended that we watch a show called Dead Ends. And so we watched Dead Ends, and it was like this made-for-TV movie with Jean Smart from Designing Women. And it was actually, I mean, as corny as the acting was, like, that was the most interesting thing. No, it wasn't called Dead Ends. Dead Ends was a book that we read. I can't remember what the made-for-TV movie was called. Something, A Time to Kill or something like that. But, like, it was the most interesting thing to me of all, because it showed a sign of Eileen that, like, I hadn't seen before, if that makes sense. But, like, a lot of these cases, like, I'm just not interested in because I know a lot about. And when I'm done reading about it, you know? It's like, Columbine was really interesting for me to read about, and I kept on researching it afterwards, but because something changed in me halfway through. There was a part at the end when the writer was talking, David Cullen was talking about, he also wrote Parkland, he was talking about how his book Columbine is fantastic. A lot of people say it's incorrect, but I think it's about the most factual encounter, if there is one. But one of the things that, like, he said at the end of the book was that the students at Columbine and the town of Columbine didn't want, like, Columbine High School and Columbine the city to be referred to as Columbine, like I just did, because for them, that was their city, that was their high school, right? So imagine your high school forever being associated and known with this horrible event. And so there was a point when there was kind of like a taking back of it. And at that point, I got very interested in reading or watching kind of like the interviews with the survivors and hearing about where they're at now. You know, it's the 20th anniversary when we read about it in April, a year ago, April. And Mel had been in high school at that time, and so to hear her, you know, accounts of how, like, her high school dealt with it and how she had been personally affected by it at that time was really interesting. And then, you know, like, there was, like, I think, like, 5 or 6 people that went around and they spoke that were survivors of Columbine. And then one of the daughters of the gym teacher, the science teacher, whoever the guy was that died. I think he was a science teacher. Really nice guy. And there were a lot of things I didn't know too, like I think it's like, okay, the parents were questioned or something about, there's something that somebody in here will know. I don't remember what it was, and I should. But it's either like the diaries of one of the boys. It's not Dylan Klebold, it's the other one. And I can never remember his name. It's either his diaries or it's the parents questioning that is locked. Like, you cannot access it for so many years. And I can't remember how many years that is, but it's like 30 years or something like that. That you can't find out what's inside of it for like 30 years. And there was some agreement that they made where they like, they sat in a room, like the parents did. I feel like maybe I'm making this up, but like at the same time I'm like, no, I feel like I read this or I saw it in an interview. The parents sat in a room, like there was like a meeting with the parents of Dylan Klebold, and I don't know why I can never remember that other guy's name. Anyway, it was like he was the main one behind all of it anyway, really. Well, if you believe Dylan Klebold's mother, her telling of it, you can see her TED Talk and things like that. But anyway, they met with several of the victims' families, and they were allowed to ask them questions. And I feel like that happened, and I feel like whatever happened in that was what was like locked in court documents to not be released to the public for like 30 years or something like that, or until like 2027 or something crazy. Oh my God, my eye is itching so bad. But I think at some point for me, it wasn't so much about reading about the event as it was reading about the survivors and where they were today and how they had learned from what they had gone through. And that was very interesting to me to see. You know, I mean, it had been 20 years, so, you know, many of them were married and then, like, moved away from Colorado, and just to, like, and to hear, like, what they remembered from it and things like that. That became more interesting to me, the survivor stories and the story of actually, like, what had happened and all of that, like the planning of it and all that kind of stuff. I think also the importance of understanding how, you know, like they say that we have to understand our history to understand our future. Well, like, Columbine played an important part, you know, and I don't know how much people know about this, but like in the Virginia Tech and the shooter, he like wrote in his letter that like he looked up to the two guys at Columbine. That was like in his manifesto or something that he wrote. And there's other people that have talked about that too, which is really scary, you know? So it's kind of like important to understand that, to take away any of the disillusionment about who they really were, you know what I mean? That they were just two people that were like very disturbed and probably really needed mental health treatment very, very badly. And actually Dylan Klebold's mom talks a lot about that in her interviews and in her TED Talk. Okay, my battery died, and I was like out on this country road, and I was kind of spooked, and I was like, I am not, this battery is so hot. I was like, I am not gonna just pull into some like little street here. Oh my God, my eye, you guys. I thought also that I would pull in here. Oh my God. And then as I was driving over here, my other eye started itching. Are my eyes like really red? Oh. I would say maybe it's from the chlorine today, but like I don't open my eyes in the pool because I have my contacts in. I thought I could put some of these re-wetting drops in my eyes. Maybe that would help. I was thinking about also doing, have you guys ever seen me? I think I did show my glasses the other day, didn't I? I can't see through them with my contacts in, but I was thinking about maybe also tonight doing a, I haven't done a hydrating face mask in forever. I want Manny MUA to come back out with this lip gloss so bad because I love it. Where is it? Oh my god, my eye is itching so bad. I don't know why I just thought this, but I was like, you know, it feels so good. Is to put like a cold compress over my eyes and just like lay there with it. It's like itching literally so bad. Look at all this that I have gone through. I bought that from Ultra like 2 weeks ago. Ultra. I bought it from Ulta like 2 weeks ago. Of course I do use like 400 sprays, but Tanya used it the other night. I said, here, use it. And she went like this. She was like, do you want to spray? I'm like, Tanya, I didn't even get my finger on there, my thumb. Remember one night I did it and I didn't get my thumb. Okay. On the road again. Zip this up. I love this little fanny pack so much. This little North Face fanny pack. Isn't it so nice? It wasn't very expensive either. I can't remember how much it was, but it wasn't too bad. Oh. I was trying to remember what I was talking about. I was talking about Dylan Klebold's mother, that she, you know, she finally came out and started talking about, I think she may have written a book about it or something. But the way that she explains it is that he wasn't homicidal, that he was suicidal, and that he suffered from depression, is how she makes sense of it. Isn't this McDonald's open? Doesn't look like it. I don't see anybody in there. I'm gonna drive around and see again. I feel like some nights it's open and some nights it's not. I don't see one person in there. There's a car here. Oh my god, my eye! It's probably like, who is this person driving around our McDonald's? The signs are on. Oh my gosh. I used to eat McDonald's all the time. I loved it. That was before I was a vegetarian. There's something in the fall about a Big Mac, a large fry, and just a Coke or a Dr. Pepper from McDonald's that tastes so, it reminds me of the fall. And like an apple pie or a pumpkin pie from McDonald's. But that case was still very interesting to me. But there's like just so many cases, like the John Wayne Casey book was really good, The Killer Clown, but when we were done reading it, I felt like I knew everything I needed to know about John Wayne Gacy and more. Like I didn't have any desire to read. The other thing is that it's so dark sometimes, you know, that like when you're done reading it, it's like I don't really, like I can't read a true crime book and go right into another true crime book. I sometimes kind of need a break, depending on what the book is. I don't know if that makes sense, but somebody threw their trash in the road. My lord, it's a crazy night out. Speaking of McDonald's, that's what it looked like. I'm trying to think of some other books. I don't know. I'm also not somebody like that wants to read 5 books about the same topic, no matter what topic it is. Like I lose interest very quickly, like after I've read one book. Not necessarily like fiction in a series, like I don't mean that. Although I don't love series. I mean, there's a couple that I've started to read and like. You guys want to hear something so funny? I was watching something the other night. I can't remember what I was watching. I think it was when I was watching Legendary on HBO, but there was something that like one of the judges said, and I couldn't understand what she said. It was like at the very end, it was in the finals, and she had them like walk forward, and I rewound it like the first time because I couldn't understand what she said. And maybe it was The Good Place, but I feel like it was Legendary. And when it was rewinding, my phone came on. It was like bloop, you know, like when Siri comes up, like whatever they said, which sounded nothing like something to do with Siri, you know, but it sounded like that. Oh my God. You know fall is here if my eyes are itching this bad. I'm like, do I have allergy medicine at home? Because I take that aloe vera. I hope I do. Because it's really hard to get anymore. Like, I had to order it off of Amazon the last time, I think. Oh my God, this person and their braids. I just have complaints about every other car on the road, don't I? Like, I know a lot of people are like, get really fascinated with one person or another, and then they want to read like everything about them. Oh, no, I was going to say like series. Like, there are some series. Oh, but anyway, with the HBO thing, I rewound it like 3 or 4 times because like every time I would rewind it, or like it would like play that one, it was just that one sentence or that one thing that this judge said or whoever said it, like my phone would go off. Like, I just asked a question. It was so weird. It kind of freaked me out at first. But anyway, I mean, I like series, and like if I get into a series, now I'm saying it. If I get into a series, is it going to go off? If I get into a series, like I'll read the series, right? Like if I enjoy it, like the Truly Devious series, I really, really liked that one by Maureen Johnson. Are there other, the Hank Green series that I'm reading right now, I really like that. I really like the Sylvain Nouvelle series. That was actually an adult series called Sleeping Giants. I haven't listened to the 3rd book yet, but I have it. The 1st book was fantastic, Sleeping Giants. The 2nd book was horrible, and I haven't heard the 3rd one yet. The Pines by Blake Crouch. I loved that. I wish Blake Crouch would come out with another book. I wonder when his next book is coming out, actually. And then, God, my eye. Like, this is unreal. Like, we literally sat outside all night tonight, and this was not bothering me. Maybe that's what did it. It just didn't start affecting me until I came inside or something. I don't know. But like, with, like, nonfiction topics, or, with like reading about like true crime, like I know some people, like, you know, they want to read like everything about Charles Manson. I'm not that person. Like, once I read like one telling, that's why like Mel and I, we like try to find the best like book, you know, about that situation or that, you know, case, because it's like, I don't really, once I've read one, I don't want to read, you know, 5 or 10 about that. I don't even need to read 2. I'll go in and watch the interviews and stuff like that. I'm trying to think of somebody that like was interesting enough for me to go in there and look at the interviews. Well, like the Columbine thing, I watched a lot of the interviews. The 20-year anniversary interviews I watched, and then I watched a lot of the footage at the time, because I don't remember seeing a lot of that on the news. What else? Israel Keyes from American Predator. I actually did go in and kind of like read some articles about him and looked up pictures and saw video footage of him, because I didn't really know a whole lot about him. And that was recent. That was 2012. And he died in 2012. So I'm kind of surprised that I didn't know more about that case, which was actually like a national case. So, but yeah. But like the Golden State Killer, it was interesting. Like today, when I was seeing all the articles come up about it and stuff like that, I kind of was like, I'm done with this case. Like, I just kind of had this feeling kind of come over me. I was like reading the article about the sentencing, and I was like, I mean, there's not what, I don't know that I need to know, unless he was going to like come out and talk about, I don't know that they'll even be investigating that anymore. You know what I mean? Like, He spoke at his sentencing hearing, though, and he said he was sorry to the victims and their families, which I think is crazy that he did. He like broke his silence. He hasn't spoken, you know, and he spoke. People in the True Crime Book Club, they had some opinions about it. Yeah, but I'm just not real interested. You know, it was like, after I watched that documentary, I thought it was so well done, and I thought it was so well wrapped up, that I just kind of like, after that, I was like, I don't really have tons of interest in this anymore. Because I think it always, when it becomes, and it should be this way anyway, when it becomes the survivor story, you know, or the story of the victims' families, like, at that point, like, I look at it in a different way. And especially, like, I feel like when they've gotten their voices back, like, that to me is this whole, I always think this is like a car or something out here, and it's just like this sign. Here, let me show you. I showed it the other day, but it's just like this sign, but it always freaks me out. It looks like it's like a pickup truck sitting there. But, I'm kind of done at that point, you know what I mean? I think that's why, like, when I listen to the audiobook, if you're on Audible and you're looking for a fantastically told true crime book, I Am God, about the DC shooter, was fantastic. And it was really, like, it utilized a lot of, like, the victims' families and some of the survivors, but there weren't many stories. It was really, really well done. And I think just to hear them at the end, you know, like, and what they had to say about it, it kind of took it back, you know. No, it was, I liked that book. I mean, the topic was difficult to listen to, but I also didn't know anything about that case. It's a crazy case. But by the time with the Golden State Killer, I had, like, by today, I had, been introduced to the case by reading Michelle McNamara's book, I'll Be Gone in the Dark. And then we read it for the book club. It had just come out. I can remember the discussion that Mel and I had, because we were both like, well, this is going to be a hard book. Because at that point, like, we were reading, like, it was all just, like, pop culture books, like anything, in pop culture. We hadn't made it a true crime book club yet. We didn't do that till the following January. Well, we announced it, I think, like, in November or December, and then we made, like, in January. It was, like, the first true, and that was when we read Stranger Beside Me by Anne Rule. But, we read that book, like, in March or April, I think, or May. He had just been caught, like, 2 weeks before when we read it. And I can remember Mel and I talking about it, because we're like, a lot of people are going to have a difficult time getting this book because it's brand new. And we kind of made a decision at that point. I don't know why I keep on doing that with my mouth tonight. We kind of made a decision at that point that, like, if something new came out that looked really, really good, that we were going to read it, because it was current and it was important to read. And that was, like, the first book that we did like that. And that was probably one of the, like, most highly attended book clubs, highly read books that we read. People really, really liked that one. Mel picked a book for September that looks really, really good. It's I can't remember the guy's name, something Watts, I think. I feel like it takes place, I just bit my tongue. I feel like it takes place in Colorado too. It looks really good, about how he killed his wife and 2 daughters. I don't know anything about that case. I've had so many people suggest it to me, and I don't know anything about it, so I haven't listened to any podcasts about it. That is like fog over this whole, like, field right here. That is so creepy. And there's, like, this old barn there and stuff. But I don't know anything about that case, so I'm like, I'm excited to read that book, to learn more about it. So sad, isn't it? So, so, so sad. I keep on asking Mel how to pronounce, like, I don't know why I keep on forgetting it, from My Favorite Murder. It's Karen Kilgariff. I'm like, it's Kilgariff? She's like, it's Kilgariff, I think is what she said. But she wrote a book, and she said it was like really, really good. I just looked up there, I was like, that battery cannot be low, because I just charged that battery. I know I did, and it's not. But she said that book was really, really good. She and the other co-host wrote it together, I guess. I'm kind of like into I need to read fiction right now, though. Oh my gosh, my eye. My mom read so much nonfiction. I got her, I feel like, I don't know if her friend introduced her to it or if I introduced her to it. What was that woman? I read one of her books, and I really was like, Tender Mercies or something like that. That was the movie. Tender Mercies was Traveling Mercies or something. Anne Lamott. Oh my God. Her writing is so beautiful. If you like nonfiction, like spiritual memoirs, Anne Lamott is fantastic. It was like Traveling Mercies or something the book was called. I can remember it because she was like pregnant and single, and she was living in San Francisco. And she talks about like how at the beginning of her faith, and like she started going to this church, and the church like took her in, and they didn't know her, they didn't judge her or anything like that for, you know, and they like being single and being pregnant, and they just like wrapped her up in love and like took care of her. And I remember reading that specific part in the book. I've been wanting to read this Slouching Towards Bethlehem by Joan Didion forever now, and The Year of Magical Thinking. Those have been like 2 books that I've been wanting to read, plus the Witch's Sister series, which, I mean, look, that has nothing to do with you. They're not exactly Joan Didion's, you know what I mean? But I've been wanting to read those. I go through phases in my life where I feel like I need to read more important literature or more important like memoirs or tellings, and then I do, and then like I feel like I have this need to read something that's just for fun, you know what I mean? We were going through movies tonight on Netflix, and I didn't even know that Michelle Obama is becoming, like they had made a documentary talking like about her life, which is based on, I guess, her book that she wrote, her memoir Becoming, which I haven't read, but I heard it was fantastic. But has anybody seen that documentary? We watched a trailer for it, and I was like, this looks so good. Like, it looks really, really good. I love to watch documentaries about, I don't care who or what the documentary is about, I will watch a documentary. But we were going through there, I was like, oh, what was the documentary? I was like, oh, it was that one called Disclosure, and it was about trans representation in film through the years. That one was really, really interesting. In a way that, like, of stuff that, like, I hadn't even thought about. This guy is literally, like, I don't know if it's just, like, I notice this stuff, or if it is just like drunk night, but there was this guy, and he is literally walking down the side. He's like weaving, he's walking on this main thoroughfare here. Like, you can tell obviously that he's like been drinking. Like, this is crazy tonight. I don't know what's going on. What's going on? What's going on? But my mom, she did, like, when she was younger, she liked to read a lot of fiction, but when she was older, she liked to read a lot of nonfiction. Isn't it funny how something small can get you so excited? Like, I talked about this yesterday, but my dad told me that he sent in these, like, films from when I was a kid, you know, like the 8mm or whatever that's called, you know, film. Did you ever see that movie with Nicolas Cage? That movie was terrifying, but very, very good. But, like, I'm really excited to see these, like, discs that my dad got me, like, had made for me. Like, I guess one, like, some of them are, like, of me learning how to ride a bike. And my mom's in that one. And then, because there's, like, it's, like, this kind of going joke that, like, she's in the background, she's going, pedal, 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 pedal. And then there's one in there, he said, with my grandma, my mom's mom. I don't know, like, what that is, how old I am. But I'm really excited to see those. Like everybody I talk to, I'm like, oh my God, listen to what my dad did for me. I'm really, really super excited about that. I thought that was such a nice gift, you know? And that's something that I'll have forever. It's really hard for me. Like, I said to Alex, I said, will you watch him with me when I get him? And he was like, yeah, if you want me to. And I was like, well, of course I would want you to, you know? But one of the things that's hard for me is Alex has never seen my mom, like, live, you know? Like, he's seen pictures of her. I have tons of pictures of her. Who was I talking to? I think I was talking to Valerie. And she was like, well, you don't have pictures of your mom? I was like, yeah, I have thousands of pictures of my mom. But, like, you can't show a picture to somebody and, like, explain to them who they are, you know? And my aunt and uncle aren't around anymore. And Caroline doesn't tell a lot of stories about my mom. And, you know, like, if my dad tells a story about my mom, it's something from typically, like, you know, before they were separated when I was 8, you know? So there's not, like, well, Susie, when Alex sees Susie, like, she'll tell stories about my mom and stuff like that. But, you know, and I know that these films that I'll have will be from, like, you know, when I was much younger. But at least he'll be able to see, like, her presence, you know? And, like, that's important for me, that he can see that. I don't know why that's important for me, but, like, he's just never been able to see. She's always just been this story to him, you know, that, like, he's never really fully understood. And so when I talk about her, it's like he hasn't ever seen her smile except for in a picture, or heard her laugh, or her voice. He's never heard her voice, you know. And I haven't heard her voice in 12 years. I don't remember it, really. I mean, I do, but not really. I think that's one of the sad things. You know, people ask me that a lot. Like, I shouldn't say that in here. I shouldn't say it, but it's not one of the things I lead with when people ask me, like, what are the tough things about grief? I think one of the toughest things is you do forget their voice. Like, if I really work on it, I can conjure it up in my head, but it's like, it's kind of like a memory. It's like a memory of something she said. You know, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like, I don't remember her voice. I just don't, you know? Like, I really honestly do not know what kind of, like, emotional response I'm going to have hearing her voice. I think I'm scared of that. Not scared like I don't want to do it, or scared that I'm, like, I think it's one of the reasons why I don't watch The Wedding, like Caroline's wedding, that has her speaking in there, because that's definitely, like, for my mom's more adult, like, when she was older, and so that will be very similar to what she sounded like towards the end of her life. You know, I will tell you right now, like, you know, when my mom passed away, we didn't really live in the world of, you know, like, we were just, like, you know, people were doing more video stuff, but we didn't have phones that recorded video like we have today. We don't, you know. I remember I worked with this girl, and, like, she saved, like, every voicemail her mom ever sent her that was long, because she was like, if my mom ever passes away, I want to make sure that I have, like, you know, messages from my mom. And I can remember thinking to myself, I would laugh I'd be like, girl, your mom is not going anywhere anytime soon, and you don't need those voicemails and whatever, you know. Wasn't I the last one to laugh? Like, I mean, I don't have a voicemail. I don't have anything, you know, of my mom's voice. And that's really, really hard. I have nothing, you know, of her talking, of anything, like nothing. And, yeah, like, I'm in my head right now, and I'm, like, trying to, like, remember what she sounded like, and I'm, like, trying to imagine myself, like, talking to her on the phone. What I can hear is when I would come through the door, because she would always be so excited to see me, and she'd give me this big hug, and she'd be like, Peter! Like, I can hear her then, but, like, even, it's more of, like, my mom, like, my Aunt Kathy as my mom, or Caroline as my mom. Like, I don't hear my mom. It's hard. You know, it's really hard when, I don't know, like, take video of your family. You know, you never know what's going to happen. And let your family take video of you. Tanya never likes to be in a picture or a video or anything. I mean, not for me. I could care less. She doesn't want to be in my videos, and I respect that, right? Like, she did, and then, you know, she doesn't want to be anymore. And I totally respect that, and I understand why she doesn't want to be. But, like, just for your family, like, I'm not talking about YouTube stuff. I'm talking about just, like, your family to keep. Allow them to take video of you. Allow them to... You know, one of the greatest things, like last year for Alex's birthday, when he turned 35, and his mom and I worked, if you're new to my vlog, you won't know about this, but Alex's mom and I, he wanted like a legacy video. And so, if you don't know what that is, it's like when everybody like says something about you. And so, Alex's mom and I, we put together this legacy video, and we contacted like every family member, every friend, from high school to college to now, to all of his friends. We had like 30 people or something. And everybody like sent a message to him, you know, and some of them were like 2 minutes long, and some of them were 10 seconds long, you know? But like, he has video footage of literally every person in his life. Like, the other day he put it on, and I was like, oh my God, I forgot all about that. And we like, you know, his mom and I picked the music and, you know, and stuff like that. And it's getting kind of warm in this car. And I think that's cool, you know, like, make sure that you take video footage with people talking of your family and friends so that you have that, you know, like, that is one thing I would highly suggest to everybody, you know. Ask your family stories. Do you remember the other day I was saying that, like, there are certain things I need to ask my dad? I really thought about that, and then my dad, we just happened to be talking on the phone the other day, and yesterday, and I said, I started asking him some questions of some things I always wanted to know, you know? And it's so cool, too, because my dad's not the guy that just, like, dismisses that. And it's like, oh, you know, like, I feel like I know, like, okay, like, my Aunt Kathy was not somebody that wanted to live down memory lane. She just wasn't. And so, like, if I would ask her questions, she'd say, Peter, I don't remember. Like, she would say that a lot, right? Because I think a lot of the memories were painful for her. But my dad's not that. Like, my dad he'll tell you. Like, he'll say, like, well, this is what it was. Or, you know, I was asking him questions about my mom, and he was telling me, you know, and, you know, I think, like, they were things I wanted to know. And he's told me, my dad's told me a lot of great things about my mom. I mean, they weren't bad things at all, you know, they were just like, things about memories that I have, like, of things she said that she did that I don't remember, and he would, like, he filled in the blanks for me, you know. But, like, as I got older, my mom would tell me stories, and she would say, you know, like, when you're older, I'll tell you about this. But we never had those conversations. You know, like, that wasn't going to be a deathbed conversation that I was going to have with her. So I asked my dad, you know, some of those things, and, but he doesn't shy away from those conversations. He'll have those conversations, you know, and I'm so thankful for that. I don't know. It's not his responsibility. There's a lot of parents out there, grandparents and aunts and uncles, that don't share that stuff, you know. But I just want to understand where I came from, I think, you know. I don't know. So I'm super thankful for him, because him putting this thing together is like a gift that I did not even expect or had thought about it or anything. You know, I'm like super, super excited about it. And do you know what's really weird about it is, actually, that... So it was a bunch of these, like, films that he and my mom had filmed together from back in the day. And my mom had, because he had mentioned one time getting them put together on, like, a VCR tape. I'm literally sitting here talking and the camera stops. I hate when that happens. But my mom had asked me, I don't know where it stops, I'm just going to tell you. My mom had asked me to take these films over to my dad, because he said at one point he would make them into a VCR tape for her, because you could take them somewhere and do that, right? Now my nose is itching me because I trimmed my beard I've been trimming my beard a lot to try to keep it shorter. Not shorter, but short, you know? So anyway, so she had me take these films to him, and she put them in like this, like this paper grocery bag, you know? I can just see it in my head. It was like, you know, rolled down kind of thing. And I did, but I feel like, I'm almost certain I took him to his office. Well, my dad, and that was like, would have been like 5 or 6 years before my mom passed away. Well, you know, he recently retired, and I'm sure he took everything home from his office. And so he probably found them and was like, oh, because he said to me, I've had these forever, is what he said to me on the phone. So isn't that weird that it's like indirectly this like gift from my mom that like, you know, because she kept those and held on to them. I don't know, but I'm super, super excited to see him. It's gonna be so crazy. I mean, and I don't have any film of myself from when I was a kid. It's gonna be funny seeing myself at that age. You know what I mean? Like, learning how to ride a bike. I think that's cool that I'll have that. I don't know. It's those small things. Although, he did say it was expensive to do. He was like, it's pretty, he goes, I was surprised, it's pretty expensive. And I was like, Dad, I really appreciate it. He was like, no problem at all. But I can remember that's why my mom never wanted to do it, because she was like, your dad can do it, it's really expensive. So I think that's kind of funny, but he had to like send them in somewhere or something. I don't know where he sent them in, but I'm excited about it. Well, listen, you guys, I think that's all I don't think I have anything else to talk about tonight. And I want to listen to a little bit of my audiobook before I go home and go to bed. So I'm going to get off here now. So I'm going to try to do a quick outro. I've been trying to do quicker outros. I have to listen to some of this audiobook, you guys. I have to finish this audiobook. I think I'm down to like 5.5 hours left of it or something like that. 5 hours and 15, I don't know how long I have. 5 hours, 5.5 hours, something like that. So I have to like finish this thing. Anyway, it is really good. That's part of the problem too, is like, I don't want to rush through it. Because I was like, am I at the end? No, I just was at the end. Peter, you're so stupid. It's like really good. So like, I don't want to rush through it. You know what I mean? I read some books that are, or listen to some audiobooks that are not that great. So I actually want to listen to it and enjoy it, you know? Because I have a book that I really enjoy, so. But you know, I will tell you this, that a lot of people dislike the true crime books in the book club that I end up liking, and vice versa. So I might like this month's book. I don't know, we'll see. Probably not. I hope I do though. Anyway, I'm gonna get off here now. So I started to close out the vlog, and then I started telling this story about a friend of mine that I never know what people care if I tell on here or not, you know what I mean? So I was like, I probably just, it's better not to share it. So I've been doing that a lot lately, you know? But anyway, so I'm gonna close the vlog out now. So anyway, thank you guys for listening to the vlog tonight, the video vlog. If you guys liked the video vlog, not the video blog, like the vlog, like I thought it was back in the day. Did you ever call it a vlog? I used to always call it a vlog, like the Vlog brothers, Hank and John Green. I used to call them the Vlog brothers. But if you liked this vlog, this video vlog, then please give this video a big thumbs up. It really means a lot to me. I would really appreciate it. And if you are already subscribed to this channel, thank you for subscribing. Please make sure that you're still subscribed to this channel and to all of my channels. I'm getting a lot of people telling me that they are unsubscribed from my drama channel, my Peter Monn channel. I'm actually working with the IT people at the creator, whatever. My manager's helping me with it, but who knows how long that'll be, so I guess it doesn't really matter. You know, it's just like, it comes, it goes, it is whatever. But it's frustrating to me because I have so many people that are like, I have my notifications on and I've been subscribed to you forever and I keep on getting unsubscribed to you. I'm like, that's what's frustrating to me, you know, is that people will come and they'll be like, I didn't know that you had posted videos the last 4 days. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I just wish, you know, it's nice enough that people choose to subscribe to my channel and watch my videos, so I just wish that people would be able to stay subscribed to my channel if they so wish, you know, or if they, you know, choose to be there. So anyway, make sure that you're still subscribed to my channels, and if you haven't subscribed to this channel already, this, you know, my video vlog channel, then think about subscribing. We would love to have you over here and be part of the OG Wolf Pack. And please leave a comment in the comment section below if you would like to. And let's have everybody leave just blue heart. Did I do blue hearts yesterday? I feel like I did blue hearts yesterday. What color haven't I done for a while? Or did I do yellow yesterday? Well, let's do blue again. Let's just flood the comment section with blue hearts and blue emojis. Are there blue flowers? I like blue flowers. Blue flowers. We have blue flowers at our wedding. So maybe blue flowers in the comment section below if there are blue flower emojis. I don't know if there are or not. But I love the color blue. It's my favorite color. And yeah, so I was going to say the color green because I have green on. But we'll do the color blue tonight. And I hope you guys are having an amazing... So anyway, like I said, flood the comment section with blue. That way I know that you made it to this point of the video. And then that means I love you. I love that. So thank you for watching the whole entire vlog. I appreciate it. Or listening to it or whatever. I was telling my dad, he was like, do people just like sit there and like watch? Because like he watched one of my vlogs the other day. He was like, do people just sit there and watch you like in the car the whole... I was like, well, which video was it? Which channel? And he was like, I don't know. The one where you're like in a car. And I was like, oh, that's my vlog. And he was like, do people just sit there and watch you like, you know, driving a car? And I was like, it was my test result one. Or it was not my test result one. It was the day that I went. I think that was actually what it was called, my test results. It was the day that I went and got the MRI. And he was like, you definitely are your mother's son. You like to talk. I think I said this on here, but anyway, he was like, he said he enjoyed it. And he was like, but do people sit there and just watch you drive in a car? And I was like, yeah. I said, a lot of people listen to it like a podcast. I was like, do you know what a podcast is? He's like, yes, Peter, I know what a podcast is. So anyway, I hope you guys are having an amazing Saturday, unless you have other plans. But like I always say, don't have other plans. Make the most of your day. Do something fun today. Do something exciting. You deserve it, okay? You deserve to have a really amazing, fun day, peaceful day. Be content. Be happy. Enjoy the simplicities in life. Do something that will make you happy today. Start a new movie. Start a new book. Try a great new food that you've never tried before, that you've always... Even a new flavor of ice cream. A new flavor of Ben & Jerry's ice cream. I might be doing something like that on my review channel soon. Actually, I am doing something like that on my review channel soon. And also do something that will make yourself proud when you look back on it. And I'm going to try to make this a quick outro tonight, not a really long outro. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Make sure that you look at yourself in the mirror every single day and every single night. Not all day long and not all night long, but at least once each morning and each night, and say to yourself, I love you. And at least one positive affirmation, like you are valuable, or you are beautiful, or you are talented, or you're funny, or you know, you're pretty, or you're handsome, or whatever you need to hear about you. You are loved. How about you are loved? And every night before you go to bed, say this about your day the next day that's coming up. And every day when you get up in the morning, say this about your day. Say, today is going to be an amazing day. I'm going to be happy, joyous. I was like, what do I say? Today is going to be an amazing day. I'm going to be happy, joyous, and free all day long today. I'm going to sing, I'm going to dance, I'm going to laugh, I'm going to cry if I want to or need to. I'm going to feel all of my emotions. I'm going to live my most authentic, genuine self, full of all of my emotions and all of that. And I'm going to do things that I love to do, things that make me happy. If I have to work, I'm going to do so with a smile on my face, and I'm going to try to be a positive contribution to the world and do good work. And when I'm done working, or if I don't have to work, then I'm going to do things that I love to do, all of my favorite passions and crafts and things that I love to do to fill my time, like reading and writing and cooking and crocheting, hi Mel, and coloring in my coloring books, or decorating, or gardening, or cooking. Did I already say that? Or whatever it is, you know, listening to music and dancing in your kitchen. My mom used to love that. And I'm going to spend time with my friends and family and friends if I can, or if I want to, and if I can't or I don't want to, then I'm going to spend some time alone and enjoy time alone by myself. And I'm actually kind of excited tomorrow to spend a day by myself and have some quality Peter Monn time. Third person. I do enjoy quality time alone, though. I really, really do. my pace slows down, and I just kind of take care of myself for the day, and it's nice, and I like that. And I just thought, maybe tomorrow I'll get Chinese food. That sounds really good. I don't know why. This Chinese restaurant by us, Payway, closed. And it's not over here, but I'm just pointing out the window. This restaurant by us, Payway, closed. And I used to love them. They were like a fast version of P.F. Chang's. So it's kind of sad about that. But anyway, and I'm going to have great opportunities all day long, and I'm going to have great opportunities come my way all day long, and have positive experiences all day long. And if my day gets off track and I start to get negative, and my day starts to go downhill a little bit or a lot, well, I can start my day over whenever I want. I can start my day over just like that. And most importantly, make sure, and you can too, you can start your day over literally just like that. I had to do it one day this week, and I ended up enjoying my day. I had woken up on the wrong side of the bed. Literally, I was looking at Boo Radley's butt, and I woke up, and did you ever just wake up sour and, negative? I did this week. And I was like, I'm not letting this ruin my day. I'm going to enjoy my day to the fullest and really have a great day. And, most importantly, make sure that you reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you, anybody. But it would be really nice if we reached out to somebody, or if you reached out to somebody, and me too, that might really need to hear it, that might really need to hear from you and see how you're doing, and just say, hey friend, how are you? My friend Valerie did that to me, and it really meant a lot to me. She just was texting me, and she was like, hey friend. And then later she was like, I watched your vlog. I love you, Ballerini. Anyway, but it's nice, to hear from our friends and our family, and, you could just sit down for 5 minutes and just text 3 or 4 people and just be like, hey, how are you? I was thinking of you. Hey, how are you? I was thinking of you, and just let people know that they mean something to us. And I think in this world, it's a very small thing to make somebody feel seen, or to feel that they're an important spot or part in your life, and I talk a lot about that. It's an honor to be part of somebody's life, that people allow us in their lives, and we allow people in our lives, just to let them know, hey, I want you to know that you're an important part of my life. You don't even have to say that. All you have to say is, hey, how you doing? And that, I think, translates to that, and then it just lets people know that, and then they maybe not feel so all alone. They don't feel, maybe they don't feel so all alone. I think it's a powerful thing. I think sometimes, we feel so alone because we don't hear from a lot of people, and people don't reach out to us. I know that my mom, she was somebody that really struggled with feeling alone much of her life, because people didn't reach out to her a lot. It was basically like me and my aunt, much of the time. And, she'd just say, I feel like I don't ever hear from anybody, Although she had a lot, later in her life, she had a lot of friends of hers in recovery that she talked to and stuff like that, so it's kind of different. But I think then, I said at my mom's funeral when I spoke, I stood up, and it was just standing room only upstairs, and in the church, upstairs and down. And I looked, and I was like, my mother had no idea so many people cared about her. I mean, she really honestly didn't, she would never have guessed that her funeral would have been standing room only. So I think that speaks, and I think funerals are a lot about the family, there are obviously people that were there for my aunt and for me and things too, but I mean, they were all there really ultimately for my mother and her life, and what an honor, that so many people showed up. But I think sometimes we feel very, very alone when we actually have a lot of people that care about us and love us and want us in their lives, but we don't know that, and we don't feel that way, Anyway, also, so make sure that you reach out to somebody, at least one person, let them know how you feel, how much they, mean to you in your life. And also practice random acts of kindness, but like I always say, don't tell anyone. Just do it because it's the right thing to do. Okay, hey, somebody's got to get home, I guess, in a hurry. Not us. We're just going slow through life, aren't we? We're just enjoying our moments. And like I also always say, practice random acts of kindness, but like I also always say, but don't tell anyone. Just do it because it's the nice thing to do. It's the right thing to do. Let's put some goodness, kindness, love, compassion, all of those good things, all of those good feelings, good vibes. Let's put some good vibes and good vibes. Let's put some good vibes and positivity and love out into the world. Do you remember this still? I can't do it, I don't think. The heart. Can I do it? Remember the heart? Hi, I heart you. Anyway, let's always lead with love and put love out there in the world. And I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Is that it? Is that all I want to say? I think that's it. So I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. I can never get the hand thing. Love ya! Bye, love ya! One more time, I love ya. I had to come on one last time and just tell you guys how much I love you. Who knows how much I love you? One more, I love you. And I know that's corny, and I don't care. Be too much. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya!